What's going on, everybody? This is Hunter. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today, I am down at the Jayco Open House event here down in Texas, baby. And as you can see, it's a little bit after hours. The dealers have left, and we're staying up late and getting the grind on to bring you a whole bunch of new Jayco models. Now, this is an awesome mid-bunk floor plan in the Jayco North Point. So this is going to be pinkies up, highfalutin. You can get stuff like full body paint jobs. You got the optional frameless windows too that are just looking super cool. But it's the 2026 Jayco North Point 377 RLBH. It stands for Rear Living Bunkhouse. But what makes this one so unique is the style of mid-bunk that they are using. Not only do you have a 60-inch trifold sofa, but you can also convert it to a 60 by 74 Murphy bed as well for somebody that's maybe more of like an adult. Like if I'm having some guests over, it's a little more plush, a little bit more comfortable. A lot to like and a lot to go over in this, but this is a fantastic floor plan even without the bunk model. And then obviously you have, you know, a really good wardrobe up in the front with a king bed. I mean, look at the drop frame for all the storage that you get up here. But I mean, this is crazy. I wish this thing was slashed up, but I don't want to get it, you know, all funked up for the dealers coming tomorrow. But I mean, it's a big old outdoor griddle, and it's also on this tray that comes out and then it goes back in. So that way, you know, you can get it out of the way with an outdoor refrigerator. So that way you could probably put, what, about 30 Rackaroonski in that bad mama jamma. But yeah, I'm going to put a link for Funtown RV and all the specifications like length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes. But let's see how you like the thing. And if you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe button for me, making a push towards 100,000. It's a daunting task, but a comment or a sub goes a long way for you. Again, 2026 Jayco North Point 377 RLBH, warranted for full-time living too. So that's something I want to point out. Jayco, as I'm finding, has one of the best warranties in the RV industry. So it's a 2-year limited warranty, so it doesn't cover like, you know, your wearables, things like your lights and whatnot, but it, or your brakes if you're driving like a madman or madwoman. But it does cover, you know, all like the slide mechanics and things like that, your electrical, all the stuff that's not, you know, like your classic wearable. But dual opposing slide, so you're going to get a lot of moving and grooving room around the slide as well. They're also using flush mount floors. So you got your seating and eating over here, and then obviously you have your cooking and entertainment over here with the sofa in the back. Again, makes another sleeping space. So there's technically like 3 beds in this model. But since this is a mid-bunk, I'll go ahead and show you this first. And this is pretty darn cool. I'm not going to be setting it up for you today, but I will put a link to where you can see some pictures of this. But I mean, dang, the fact that you have a working desk with a TV right across from a viewing center and a bunk model, but then you can also drop this down for a Murphy bed. Again, a little bit more of a comfortable sleeping experience or a little bit of a quicker, you know, seating and sleeping experience. So you can kind of take your pick how you want. And you got, whether you got the 2 kids with the bunks or if you have the adults crashing. I mean, I think that's pretty darn neat if you ask me. I also like the little, I like how they put these little plants everywhere. Jayco's got a thing for little plants. And my wife also has a thing for little plants. So I think Jayco and my wife would get along pretty well. I need to have Honey Buns on a tour doing the Jayco, but couldn't get her away to come down to Texas from Cincinnati for this trip. We got kiddos, you know, football starting up and school starting up and all that good stuff. So one thing that I really enjoy is on the decor side, all the accent lighting. Coming out for a midnight snack would be really nice. You don't even have to turn on all the lights and blind everybody out of the camper or wake up your guests if they're sleeping. But you have the Whisper Quiet AC system right here and in the bedroom. So if you don't see it, you don't hear it. That's kind of the theory. And then this one right here is going to be the optional third AC. And this one has a heat pump in it, again, for more electric heat. The table right here, you're sitting at about probably 6'8", 6'7", something like that for slide height. Also notice how it's all fastened from the back. So cosmetically, it looks really nice. It looks like a house paint as well. But this table is seating for 2 as you see now, but you can also pull it out for seating for 4 if that is kind of more your style. You also see emergency exit, and emergency exit. So if something ever goes down in the North Point, baby, you are getting out with a hurry from like so many different places. It's pretty nice to have. You got the half Dracula and the full Dracula. Stop the old skin from sizzling. Keep some nosy eyes out. And then, of course, you got storage and plugins right here. You got the old power tower. So that way, you know, you can plug your stuff in or get rid of it and have a wireless charging station. You're also going to notice the cloth furniture, which feels really nice, stain resistant as well, with the little TV dinner tray that snaps in. It's also going to be powered here as well with heating, you know, massage the works, which the massage is kind of more of like a vibrate. And then you got 2 cup holders with another little pop-up power station that flips up into cuddle mode as well. Now you flip it around, directly across from your recliner is going to be a good view of your TV. I'm going to guess probably about a 50-inch or so. You also see your sound bar and your fireplace to keep you nice and a roasty and a toasty. And I'll show you here in just a second, but there's actually a little bit of storage back behind that as well. Trifold sofa is for Stacy Stewart. She's a fancy lady. She likes her cloth, that's for sure. But this pulls out to make about a queen size bed, and then both left and right, you'll see outlets, and you have a little bit of extra storage for, like, you know, blankets, or maybe stuff some books in there, you know, some old movies. That would turn into a junk drawer in my house. My kids would have a heyday with that. But the windows, you know, open up as well. And again, emergency exit, half Dracula, full Dracula, residential style cabinetry, which is nice. And then as you bust it up into here, you notice I'm going hands-free on the strut system, which is nice to have that on a pretty tall cabinet. I also like the fan that you got here. It looks like a plane propeller. There's a couple brands going with this now, so they must be getting a good deal on them, I suppose. What do you think about that island? That's also going to be a flip-up top as well. Pretty cool. All right, so like I said, the fireplace keeps you nice and a roasty and a toasty. The TV is going to be one of those smart TVs. Right down here, you can push that little latch, and now it opens up into a lot of good kind of like hidden-esque storage. I mean, you know it's there. But it's also got adjustable shelving and then a couple pull-out drawers there below. So a really good place to put some of the stuff you don't want your neighbors to see. You know what I'm saying? You also got the solid surface countertops all throughout. Babe, if you're watching, I love you. And then if I didn't point it out before, because I'm starting to blend together some RVs, you have the dovetail construction. So you're probably looking at about an 80 to 90 pound weight limit there. But you also get the convection air fryer microwave as well. So real residential style microwave, which is nice. You know, get your air fryer on in the Jayco. 4-top burner to whip up all the fixings, and enough room for a turkey in this bad boy. And then you flip it around, and right across from your oven is going to be, you know, your island, where you see what you don't see is some open cabinetry right there. You actually have the pull-out, which is really nice. And then, you know, more storage. This is something that you can take out if you would like, but it's going to be for like all your forks and whatnot. And then you have your fancy TikTok sink, where you got the cup cleaner, soap dispenser, and the waterfall with the high-rise faucet. Hitting those dishes from all angles. So if you're someone that likes cutting, you got a cutting board, baby. If you're someone that likes throwing trash away, you got trash cans, baby. Say goodbye to that. Now, again, this is a residential refrigerator. It's all zipped up, so I don't want to open it up here and spoil the show. But I like the fact that you actually have, like, still risky, even though I know they're not hooked up to water. Something about that. But you can also get a 20 volt if you choose. If you're doing something a little bit more off-road, you also have the, you know, the 400 watts of solar there for the solar package as well. BLE extender. I guess that's for the control system. So that's pretty neat. Then you have your fuse box right down there. You got outside and inside access for when you're, so like a little cubby for your bed when you lower it, I suppose. That's pretty neat. Control panel will be located right here. So that's that BM Pro. So you can check all your different water levels, you know, obviously your temperatures, and then your lights. All these things are going to be like dimmable. So if you want to dim down, you know, the living room, you just slide your finger right over it and you are ready to rock. So pretty darn cool. You also have the controls for, like, you know, your fan and some of your lights and all of that stuff as well. A couple little floating steps with your central road vac system here on the ground, along with a grab handle and a ladder to get up into here. You also have your TV connection right there. So if you want to put a bracket, you can. You got the plugins over here. It's a little thin for an adult to come up here, but it makes a queen. I would say it's probably going to be great for storage or the grandkids. I don't see a world where I'm sleeping up in pretty much any loft, but this one is a little bit claustrophobic for an adult, but they all are. So this isn't like a dig on Jayco by any means. That's just my personal preference. Another emergency exit, so you can get out in a hurry, but you can also play a little friendly neighbor if you want to leave this open. It's right at about hip height. Porcelain foot flush throne in a spot you don't even have to sit down to make sure it works. And you got the friendly little octopus doodads, you know, hang a towel on me. And then you open that up, just a ton of storage, and it just kind of keeps going along. Now, Jayco uses really good, nice showers, so I've been digging that all day. As a bigger guy, 6 foot, 300 pounds, the fact that I can stand sideways and spin around without taping sponges to myself just to get clean in an RV, fantastic. You also got about 6'6" or so for head height, and then 4 ports where water spits out, and then a place for your shampoo, or my wife just bought something similar in this and put it above her shower at her house. And now we got about 4 plants in our shower. It actually worked out pretty darn cool. It's pretty neat. You got a mirror for the bowling gun, baby. And then I also like the backlight, opens it up. You got a place for your deodorants and, of course, you know, your toothpaste and whatnots. Porcelain sink. And then you have the Suburban on-demand tankless hot water heater. And then, of course, your 3 pull-out drawers there, too, as well. Coming into the bedroom, again, no exposed AC. You just have the intakes on either side. But you do have a little bit of extra storage here up underneath, which we got some decor, so I don't want to open up that. You got yourself a big old dresser right there, so 2 of those suckers. Another emergency exit, and then the smart TV. One of my favorite brands to say, the old Sansui, baby. King bed, optional queen if you choose to have it. You also have some storage here up underneath. But I also like how on either side of the bed, the windows open up for a nice breeze, and you have kind of the headboard window as well for some good natural lighting. You got the light blue and then the white. Obviously, you can toggle which one you'd like for the reading lights, and then you got outlets on both sides as well. Kind of a get-me-done style closet. So you got my storage in that bottom left side, and then my wife gets the rest, including all of the drawers here. And then we can mutually share, you know, the hamper, assuming I don't put anything in it. And then you got another closet for her, and she can put all of her stuff in there, which is really nice. And then if there's a washer and dryer, well, we'd be all right. We'd be cleaning some clothes. But all right, guys, drop a comment and let me know what you think. Pretty darn snazzy, I'll tell you. It's been a learning curve getting into these Jaycos, but I do think they are put together extremely, extremely well. Let's see if I can get a good view here, fish out a quick little thumbnail. Now, while I'm doing this, again, all the specifications, length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes, will be down in the description, along with a link for Funtown RV where you can access some pricing on this thing and do a little bit of shopping. They're now in Texas at Corsicana, and I think maybe San Angelo, one of the reps was telling me, but not too positive on that. But again, it's the 2026 Jayco North Point 377 RLBH. Again, a mid-bunk rear living fifth wheel plan that has that Murphy bed in the bunk room. So here we are up on the front side. You have the molded fiberglass front cap with the LED lights, and then more LEDs down below, shining up the MORryde pin box just to make hooking up your camper a little bit easier at night. It helps out with some of the chucking and bucking. You also see plenty of hookups for like your batteries if you want to do a generator, which is an option, and then your hydraulics for your 6-point hydraulic auto leveling. You also have a drop frame here up front, which is what allows you to have a ton of extra storage here. With the frame, you can see the aluminum frame, plus a little bubble wrapping insulation there too as well. 140-pound propane tank on this side, and you can get 2 more on the other side as well. You know, you're cooking up burgers, you're fitting a 30 rack in there. You got your JBL speakers right out here with your big old awning coming along. There's also camera prep here, but there's also camera prep on the front right, front left, and then also on the back side as well. So you can get kind of a good 360 there for you. Frameless windows, again, those are an option. So make sure to always double check to see if that's something that you want or value. And you know, you kind of pick and choose which way you go there. You are on the towing, you have the towing package. So 3,000-pound tow rating, 300-pound hitch rating, 4-way flat, and a 2-inch receiver. Plus you have a ladder with a 250-pound weight capacity to get on top of your fully walkable roof. You know, check your seals, check your slides, make sure everything is on the old up and up. You also have the backup camera prep, and then on the slide outs, you are eligible to put on a slide topper, which is a piece of awning that goes from there to there, and it prevents debris from falling on top of your unit. 50 amp power connection right here. And then you have your low point drains right underneath this sticker. So you can see those kind of sticking out there for you. You also see a spare tire down there. And then they use some really nice tires as well. I believe they use the Cooper H-rated 17.5-inch tires, which is really nice. And then you got one of your dump valves right over here, so right there. And then the back end of the hot water heater and the furnace. And then of course, you got your docking station where your auto level is going to be housed along with hot and cold water in the form of an outside shower. You got the solar on the side, all your bypass valves, and then your black tank flush there too as well. Your New Point water system, so that's gonna be nice, just kind of an upgraded water filtration system for you. Keep you nice and healthy. Drinking fresh, baby. And then this is gonna be where you put the other two 40-pound propane bottles. They also got the tow assist, which is anti-lock braking system with the sway mitigation. And this is what I'm talking about for the side camera prep as well, just so you know what you're looking for out on the lot. But all right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. I hope to catch you next time. Again, my name is Hunter. This is the 2026 Jayco North Point 377 RLBH. Have a great day. See ya. Meow 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 meow. Rum dum ba da 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 dum. Shum ba da ba da bum. Rum bum bum ba da bum. Rum bum 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 ba da bum bum ba da bum bum ba da bum.